In 2026, you are looking for what you do with your time and your life. Have you ever thought about being a software developer? Some people call it web designer, some people call it software engineering, but these are just different names to it. You don't have to be a software developer, or you don't have to break the bank to be a software developer. That's why we are here. We're starting a series of software development training that will help you become what a software developer. Now, people would ask, what is this software development? What is it all about? Now, a software developer is someone who understands how to write codes that run on your computer. You develop a software. There is hardware, there is software. So the hardware is the physical device you can see, like your phones, your computers. Even this is a hardware because it is hard and you can touch it, you can feel it. But software is the programs that run on your computer. You can't touch them. You can only see and interact with them. For example, your Microsoft Word is a software. Your Facebook app is a software. Your TikTok app is a software. While your phone, that's where your Facebook app runs on, is a hardware. So being a software developer simply means you being able to design or build Facebook app, for example. You'll be able to build Facebook app, you will be able to build TikTok app, you'll be able to build a web application, maybe any web application of your choice. So that is what being a software developer is. Some people call it software engineering. These are just different names to it. And with time, we're going to explain what those different names mean. Now, what do software developers do? Like I stated, they write software. They understand how software codes or how programming languages work. And they understand what to write to tell the computer to do certain things. For example, a software developer that is building a Facebook app can decide to maybe you want to build a comment section that does something different, right? So you just write your code and your computer will interpret it and do exactly what you want it to do. Now, some people have usually asked some questions that what is the difference between a website and a web app? So a website can be said to be a web application. Web application meaning an application that runs on the internet, on the web. And how do you access the web? Through your browser. We have different browsers. Google Chrome is there. We have Safari. We have Firefox. We have different browsers. So when you build an application that runs on the web browser, it is called a web application. Now, for a website, there are static and there are dynamic websites. Websites are mostly just applications that run on the web. You can access it using your www. Maybe examplewebsite.com and something displays for you. If it is a website, it's most usually a static page. It doesn't, it's a landing page, so to speak. So there is no input and collection and display of, there is usually no exchange of data as such. But a web application, you can log in. If there is a place you can make purchases, you can make purchases. So it is an application, not just a site. Sites can be attributed to landing pages, while applications can be attributed to a system where you can put in data and you can get feedback from data you put in. So what kind of software can developers build? Developers can build every and any kind of software as long as the programming language you know can build it or has capabilities for it. Let's say, for example, you decide to learn how to build using Python programming language. Python is a programming language that has lots of capabilities. You can use Python to build web applications, to build mobile applications. You can use it to build essentially whatever. So all you need to do is learn the basics, especially for example Python basics. From there, you go to the advanced to the intermediate stage, learn everything you need to know, learn how to build applications using Python. If it's a mobile application, delve into the mobile section of it, try to understand how mobile applications are being built using Python. Then you can proceed to the advanced stage. This is where you can learn how to do architectures, learn how to understand bottlenecks and how systems interact and integrate with each other. Now, why do people get overwhelmed, especially when they're trying to get into software development? Now, one of the reasons why people get overwhelmed is number one, there are lots of information out there. And many of these information out there, they give you so many instructions, so many things to do. But in this series of classes, we are going to focus on a path and use it to build some real world applications that you can put in your portfolio and people can hire you for it and you get paid. You can, if you are able to secure foreign jobs, you might be paid in foreign currencies, euro, pounds, dollars, and your life changes from there. But don't forget that you need to put in the work. So in this age and time, because of so many information, you see some people tell you so many things. They'll tell you learn Python today, tomorrow they'll tell you learn C sharp, next day they'll tell you learn Java. But you don't need to know every programming language to become a software developer. All you need to do is to know the basics. And what are the basics? Learn the fundamentals of a programming language, maybe Java. If Java is your calling, if it is something you would rather want to learn, you learn it. You learn how to build applications with it, and you start building applications. You don't learn to do something by just watching tutorials. You learn to do by actually implementing what you've learned. Now, choose one tech stack and stick to it. When we say tech stack, we mean a particular technology, set of technologies, and stick to it. For example, .NET is a tech stack. Java is a tech stack. Python has its own tech stack. So if you're sticking with .NET, make sure that you stick with .NET all through. Don't use C sharp in your backend and use Python for other things. Make sure you implement C sharp and .NET technologies across every of your endeavors, at least for a start. When you've mastered that particular tech stack, like C sharp, you can proceed to do any other thing or check out every other programming languages. Now, pick your area in web development. So let's say you have chosen to do web development. Now, this time, not mobile, not IoT, just web. You'll need to choose if you are going to focus on the front end, the back end. Sometimes we call it full stack. That means you want to do both front end and back end. Or even at the database layer, you want to focus on it. As soon as you've chosen that you want to be a web developer, the first thing to do, I recommend, is to start from the front end. Understand how this user interfaces play out. That means you learn some front end technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript before you can transition to the back end. Understand how these systems work. So you need something that calls systems thinking in order to get this thing done and out of the way, which is what we're going to also implement going forward. Systems thinking is an ideology that helps you try to understand things in terms of systems, not just in terms of the components of the system. Then the next thing you need to do is the fundamentals. You need to learn them. They might be boring, but you really need to learn them first. And I always recommend the use of AI to never come in between you and your learning journey. Because if you don't know what to do, if you don't know what you want to achieve, you won't be able to describe it to an AI engine or an AI model in order to assist you. So you need to be very grounded. I've seen people who use these AIs to try to 10x their productivity, try to make their productivity very fast, and they end up making lots of mistakes with these AI models. So you prompt an AI to write certain code for you. You need to also understand what the AI has written. So if you can't understand what an AI has written for you, you may not even understand how you can integrate it into your code base. So leave AI for the first 2 years. Focus solely on building your skills, and you'll be very much successful from there. Now, build projects that look like real world projects. In your journey as a software developer, maybe web application developer, you can decide to choose to build some projects that look like what is out there in the real world. You can decide to pick any big company's websites and generate exactly what is on the website. Put it in your portfolio. Build real world projects, about 3 to 5, I recommend, within the first couple of months. As soon as you're done, the the efforts, the experience you would have gained from building those projects will go a long way into giving you that experience that you need to land a very interesting role and a very high paying role. So as soon as you're done building the projects, all those projects needs to be in your portfolio. As soon as you put them in your portfolio, be ready to answer questions to defend them. Because anybody can tell somebody who knows how to build these projects to build them for them, and they include it in their portfolio. So when it's time to defend it in an interview, they are unable to defend it. So we make sure that any project you're putting in your portfolio, you already you've already you built it and you already mastered it. So that in case they're asking you any question about that, you are able to respond accordingly. Now, one of the things you also need to do is learn how teams work. So this is usually an experience you get when you start working within teams. There are different there are different approaches to achieving different outcomes in software or in technology world. We have the agile and scrum methodology, so you need to understand how teams work together in certain projects and how you can fit into those teams. Another one is the mindset shift. So rather than asking yourself every week, what do I learn today or what do I learn this week? Make sure you ask yourself, what project do I build next? Because the moment you start getting your hands dirty with these projects, with writing software and running them and testing them and debugging them, you you make it stick in your mind and you get better at it. Lastly but not the least is consistency. You need to be consistent. Let me give you an analogy. If you are a footballer, oh sorry, if you're a football fan, maybe you watch Nigeria, you watch the English Premier League, you find out that anything that is at the top always maintain its consistent winning streak. Maybe they lose once in 10 or even more games, or maybe they draw in 7 to 10 games. They don't even see a draw, maybe just one draw. So there is going to be a high level of consistency compared to teams that are lower than them on the same table. So if you're not consistent, you will not achieve the level of result that is achievable. So make sure you maintain consistency regardless of the challenges at hand as at the time, as at when you're doing these trainings and when you're learning all these things. Because even a 60 to 90 minutes per day that you put into building and learning these skills is far better than a 4 hour a 4 hour burst of doing this within 2 to 3 days or 3 weeks, right? So make sure you put in that consistency rather than just doing a one-off practice and leaving it for the next 1 week before you do the next one. So always make sure that all these things are part of your considerations, and we're always here to help you. If you have any comments, if you know anybody, any young boy or girl, or anybody generally that should and can be a software developer, you can share this video with them so that they kickstart their software development journey. We also have a WhatsApp group, WhatsApp channel, and a Telegram group where we are trying to get everybody on board, no matter your level of technology savviness, no matter your level of educational background. As long as you're interested, we'd like to have you on board. So make sure you join us across channels, follow our channels, so that whenever we drop tutorials and videos, you're the first people to learn about it, and you follow along. So thank you very much. My name is Chidi, and do have a blessed day.